Hello, Yeehaw crew, and welcome to the year 2023. And welcome back to what is a Market Watch Monday that just so happens not to be on a Monday because of the new year. Before we even get started in this video, guys, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for all the support you've given me. 1,000 subscribers is an insane amount of growth that I wasn't expecting. And I really appreciate what you guys have shown to me, have been here with me, and I appreciate the opportunity given to me to create this community with you guys on this amazing game. So with that being said, this is gonna be a different Market Watch Monday. I'm kind of tired of like trying to speculate the market because it's kind of impossible. These buyouts are bizarre to say the least, right? You know, cards will get bought out all the time for little to no, what seems to me like little to no interaction, because there's very little product on the market and TCG Player is an easily manipulable source. I want to just use this opportunity to give you guys information about what the future holds, what you guys should be looking out for to acquire for the future, collection cards, and kind of what the events, I believe, create a different or can affect the market, causes an effect on the market. So without further ado, let's start off with the main thing that we've all heard of. We've all heard about the Romance Dawn being getting a second wave. Now, I can't seem for the life of me to find where exactly the second wave is happening. There's no specific date. I went through the Bandai website. I've looked at multiple YouTube videos, and I can't find a reputable source that's telling me when that day is. I'm just going to show you guys a couple of websites here that are showing the pre-order for the case to be shipped. So we have here by Mystic TCG stating that on the 30th of January, they will be shipping the second wave. I'm not sure how much. I mean, if they're putting a date on it, then I hope they honor it, but no other website seems to come this early. So Mystic TCG, God bless you guys. Hope this is, going as expected. Then we have Three Kings. It's showing here in February, no specific date, so at any point in time during February. And then the most reputable source, in my opinion, Pro Play Games. Now, Pro Play Games is a TO. They are a very strong Bandai affiliated store. They're the guys for DBS. They're working together with Bandai constantly to get product to the players and to just help the games improve. And they're a TO that I specifically personally work with very often. So once they have a date, they really follow to it. But my issue with their date is that they're promising March 31st. So just a small recap, we have three separate sources here coming from January 30th all the way to March 31st. Now, all of this can be very influential, and it's, again, very difficult to pinpoint when this second wave will hit, if these stores will have the cases to be able to ship, and there's no official statement from Bandai at this point in time that really allows us to know kind of what's going on with the second wave. We all know there's going to be a second wave, and it's very important to note that you can never underprint the first set. It's the first set of the game. They're going to have to print it over and over and over again because you want to get people to play your game. If people cannot access your game cannot grow. And therefore, from a business standpoint, Bandai is inclined, they are incentivized to print more and more of this product. So therefore, with more product come less, some decreased values and things like that, you would all assume. But One Piece is kind of special in the fact that we have collectors that don't play card games because it is just the biggest anime in the world. Loved by not all, but from many parts of the globe, and that's something that you have to factor in. So some prices, even though with more product, they should come down. Collectors will either hold off or wait. So it's very difficult to know when things in terms of the pricing for cards are going to happen. All I can tell you is if I see a card and I think this is undervalued because of a competitive standpoint, because of X, Y, and Z, that's all I can tell you. Whatever happens in the market is kind of out of my control. But basically, this is a long-winded explanation to say we know that there's a second wave. We don't know when there will be a second wave. And there are a couple things coming in the very near future that kind of push products to move in a certain way. These are the catalysts that I was talking about in previous market watches that kind of affect the pricing of cards from a competitive standpoint, not from a collective standpoint. So I want to show you guys what One Piece has installed for the year of 2023. So this is our calendar for the up to now. I know it's in Spanish, so I'm just gonna it's just the dates, the months, but we can all kind of get it. So we have Febrero. We have the film starter decks are going to be available now. These film starter decks are fantastic. They're The pre-orders are sold out. If you can get your hands on them, they're really cool. There's a lot of really strong purple only cards. It's kind of weird that they gave purple to structure decks, but respectfully, sure. But it is a really cool structure deck. It's from the film. It's, if you haven't seen the film, I suggest watching it. It's really, really nice. But that comes out in February. This set, the structure deck, it's been made to I've become aware that it will not be available for the Treasure Cup. So these cards that you get from the film deck will not be available, but they will be available sometime during February. And the whole month of February is basically big tournament season, but we'll get to that. Then March, we have our black structure deck and Paramount, or basically the second set of One Piece coming out at some point in time in March. Roughly, if you digged with the idea that Pro Play Games is also releasing the second wave in March, so March is going to be another big month for One Piece. You'll have the reprints come out for the set 1, you'll have set 2 come out, and so on and so forth. In April, we just get a couple little like nice little quality of life things. You got these little deck boxes, these little sleeves, nothing really too crazy in my opinion. And then in June, we pick up right back with another structure deck. It's structure deck almost every other month. It's kind of, I love you, Bandai, but take it easy on my wallet, guys. So we have a structure deck basically every other month, and we finally get the introduction of the color black and yellow almost 2 months apart. So this is going to be another big month. I think pre-orders might still be available for the Big Mom structure deck, so make sure to get yours. I would always suggest to get 2 if you can. Not only for collector's purposes, but if you want to build the deck, usually 2 is what you kind of need to get going. Not only that, we seem to have the set 3 coming out in June as well. And we finally get access to the Rainbow Dawn. Very excited for the Rainbow Dawn. I think these are absolutely gorgeous. And then if you pre-ordered any of the One Piece stuff, which I am so sorry, guys. I really let you down. If you guys weren't aware, during the month of December up to, I think, December 17th, you can pre-order all of this here that's coming out in July. Mats, box, and specifically these cards. I know I'm covering right now, so maybe I can do a little something. Nope, I can't zoom in. I am too boomer. Well, basically check it out. Bandai every once in a while on their website creates a pre-order system in which you can pre-order a bunch of exclusive alt arts and sets and binders. People that had pre-ordered their binders, I believe in August of last year of 2022, how it's crazy, right, saying that, are finally getting their binders now in December. I think people are getting 26, 27. But this set right here next to my face, there, it brings alt arts of all of the Straw Hat crews: Nami, Chopper, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, Frankie, all these really, really strong cards from the red set in a very cool art style that has been created for the game, and I'm very excited. And then the month of August, as of this point, we just have these mats and boxes that are coming out, this interesting little boxes and mats that they've created for us. But this is just so you guys can get an idea of what to expect in the following months. The beginning of this year, it's just gaming. Quick. We have starter deck, tournament cup, a set, then we have a break in April, then we go back in June, and then we just chill July and August. For at this point, Bandai hasn't really said anything, but any news can change that rather quickly. So then we have the Catalyst, the big tournament event. This is right here on the One Piece card game site from Bandai, that between the dates of February 4th to February 25th, each weekend, in a different part of the Western region, we will be having a big event called the Treasure Cup. It is an event where you get the opportunity to play for the Luffys, alt arts of Chopper, Zoro, Usopp, these fantastic alt arts right here that I want to show you guys. You get obviously booster boxes, Usopp alt art, Chopper alt art, Zoro alt art, the one and only Serial Luffy. You get event pack stuff, this Jinbei, this Ace, all these crazy cards. And then playmats for first and second place. They're absolutely gorgeous. And obviously access to Dawn sleeves and these little participation prizes. The pricing is going to be insane. These cards right here are going to, I can only imagine how expensive they're going to be. So be sure to look out for that. The first event being February 4th will be hosted by Carta Magica and Core TCG in Long Beach and Niagara Falls respectively. Then we have one happening in Miami. If you guys are going to be traveling for this one, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be excited to see you guys, meet you guys there. It's going to be hosted by PPG. It's going to be a fantastic and wonderful time here in Miami. And then we have Texas on the 25th, as well as Las Vegas on the 18th. We also have for our European brethren, we have Germany on the 18th, the UK on the 4th. If you're from the Latin American region, you have Koki, I think, Koki, and Australia, you have it on February 4th. Either way, these people that are on the earlier dates, February 4th through February 5th, I am looking at you guys. I'm looking to see what wins Long Beach, what wins Niagara Falls, what wins in the UK, because that is going to be big indicative of what's going to happen in the market and what's going to happen in the following tournament. Not only that, they're going to be the first people to market the Chopper, the Usopp, the Zoro, and the Luffy. So that's going to be very interesting for our market watch, as we can try to speculate what those cards are going to be, but I'm thinking big money. So very, very interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not able to attend any event that is not the Miami one. But to those that are attending, good luck to you guys. And we're going to be making videos on how to win these events coming this week. I'm going to try to stray away from deck profiles. I think at this point, we just need to become better at the game, give you that better content so you guys can go ahead and win. So that's all the news that we had for this week. Now let's get to what we should do for this week's market watch. And what I decided to do for this week's market watch is to look at Paramount. You know, everything is basically set in stone at this point in time. Weird buyouts happen and weird market manipulation happens on TCG Player that pushes cards up. I will get to which card I think is, I have no idea what happened last week, but we'll get there when we get there. But what I'm gonna do is show you guys what I think is coming in Paramount War 2. Now, if you guys don't know, this is a website called One Piece Top Decks. It's a website that many people use in the competitive scene. I don't think it's the best source of information, but it's good enough. It's definitely good enough to get yourself an idea of what's going on in the East. So, starting off with Zoro. Everyone knows Zoro, or thinks Zoro is going to be the best deck of the format. Arguable, but it's going to be very good nonetheless. So, here's a list. I just picked a random generic list. As you can see, Nami F4, Zoro F4, Luffy F4, Nico F4. You have all these cards from set 1 that are just completely played, as well as your spells. The only cards that come in are these crazy Whitebeard cards that just exist. Searching small cards and just big damage here, plus like boosts. You have all these cards that get added, but these cards are not even, these are commons and an SR. Nothing crazy happens. You have an entire deck. If you max rarity'd it, like, it's just going to hold value as people believe this is one of the best decks. Not believe, they know this is one of the best decks. It took a lot of events in the East and is an absolute powerhouse. It's very, very fast and very strong. So just wanted to show you guys some ideas. Obviously, everyone knows Nami and Zoro just absolutely expensive as all heck, especially with the big head Zoro here. So all these cards, super expensive, and they're just going to maintain that value because it is an expected tier 1 deck that has longevity. Now, moving on from the red, we've got here the red-green Luffy that's topped an event recently. And once again, oh my god, the same culprits. It's like I'm in the Scooby-Doo gang and I find the bad guy, I remove his mask, and it's freaking Nami and Zoro again. So, yeah, they're just good cards. This Law, if you play any sort of green deck or your deck can splash green, oh my god, look who gets to get in there. Law and Eustace Captain Kidd. I want to congratulate Takuya here, because this looks like a very Americanized red-green list, because this is kind of what I've been pushing here in terms of red-green Law as well as red-green Luffy, because this deck has a very specific game plan. The only thing I don't agree with Takuya is that he's not playing the 5-drop Luffy, but this is not a deck profile on red-green Luffy. We'll get to that some other day. All I'm trying to get at here is that, again, same culprits. The big cards here: Nami, Zoro, Captain Kidd, Law, and obviously the same spells. But in terms of alt arts, these guys are here, always present. Then we have blue. Now, blue, guys, I think blue's a really strong deck. But not only is it a strong deck now, it is very complicated, but Ivankov is crazy. This deck is so cool and intricate and different. I'm very excited to see how it does. But basically, I wanted to look at what are the cards in blue that have longevity. And basically, there are some cards in blue that are just absolutely too strong not to play. The Flamingo, but this is from the structure deck. We all got Flamingos, so they're gonna be about the same. Don Quixote do Flamingo 3-drop blocker. This card is currently, we'll get to the price. Actually, I'll just move over here. This card is currently sitting at 40-ish bucks. This seems like it's a 4 of in every Ivankov deck. It is a 4 of in every blue deck, basically, because all the blue decks kind of want to do something similar. Not that this plays from the top, not that this cares about knowing from the top. All that Ivankov wants to do is find the Ivankov character plus the 6-drop Luffy and play them in sequence, use that humongous tempo swing and do it over and over and over again. And Don Quixote lets you filter for it in combination with Perona and the buggies, and we can get to that combo much, much faster. But in terms of cards that have longevity, we have Mihawk, Flamingo, and Perona. The ones that you play at 4 of, in my opinion, should be at a higher valuation because you need more of them in your deck. This one being a box topper makes it less valuable. Therefore, the card that holds value in blue is simply Don Quixote do Flamingo 3-drop blocker. So therefore, at the $40 price point that it is right now, there is no reason that I cannot see this card increase in price. Although 40 is a hefty number for it. This card has climbed significantly. We can go over here to get some idea. This card on release, $30, dipped to under the 20s. I believe my brother picked a couple of these up for 15s even, and then people have noticed how pivotal this card is and how strong it is for all the blue decks, and it has slowly crept up in price. Now, just with this information alone, we have to look specifically at these 3 cards, but all of these are basically the cards that have longevity. Almost every other card here is either from the structure deck, a box topper, a common, or directly from the next set. Another red-green deck, and here we go again. Nami, Zoro, Luffy, Trafalgar Law. The same culprits activate again. Nothing to be said here, guys. And there's literally no new cards except these guys, which are very, very good, by the way. But basically, the deck is just good. Your deck has longevity. Very, very solid. And then I want to show you the Whitebeard deck. Whitebeard is basically strictly OP2 only. The only card that they play is the Otama because of her crazy combination with just red in general. But besides that, it's basically a deck from the new set. Nothing new there. And then I want to talk about the Kinemon deck that has been also making waves. The Kinemon deck is almost exactly a green shell as it plays. Look at all these cards from OP01, guys. The only new cards that are added are Odin and Yamato, and everything else is OP01. And then for purple, all of this is from the old set, and then we have a couple of new inclusions here or there that are really, really nice, but basically the cards that you have already invested in seem to continue to hold the value that they do. The format is a little bit different, so it looks like 10-drop Kaido. I couldn't find many purple decks that topped in the first place, but you know, us in the West, we're a little spicy. But it seems like we've lost favor for the 10-drop Kaido. I don't necessarily know why, but definitely the core cards here, 9-drop, 7-drop, just all the good value cards have maintained their place, but nothing too crazy. These cards have already spiked in price. So let's get back to the TCG player and what I think you guys should look out for in the near future. Nami is somehow $240. It's just absolutely insane to me. Absolutely insane. But not only that, the prices of the box have now gone to $190. Boas somehow spiked last week. Let's get back to this. I'll do a quick little rundown. This card hit about, I saw it at $150. On the 27th, hit about $150 2 days after Christmas. I guess people just had Christmas money to blow. I don't really know. But if we're looking at the culprits, Nami, Zoro, Law, these 3 cards, they're all at insane evaluations. You have $240 on the Nami, $150 on the Zoro, and about $90 on the Law. I'm rounding kind of generously all around, but all of these cards are already insanely inflated. Another key culprit is this kid that I keep pushing every single market watch, but it refuses to go up. It is an insanely powerful card that will be here for a very, very long time. The new card that I want to talk about is this Don Quixote do Flamingo. This Sanji creeping up, creeping, and specifically this Mihawk. What happened while I was gone on vacation, guys? All of a sudden, this card went from like below $20 that had been sitting at $20 for the longest time, and we finally peaked here at $66 for Mihawk. That is unacceptable. I don't know what happened here, who got baited. This is unacceptable. This card is not a $60 card by any means. This card is very hard to summon. The reason that you even played an Ivankov is, yes, it is a very, very powerful effect, but Ivankov can just pitch it from your hand when you don't need it and keep it when you do. Filter it when you don't and use it when you do. That deck has a lot of draw, a lot of filter. Besides the card being absolutely stunning, a collector's piece, A very powerful card. It's 9 cost. Makes it very, very difficult to summon. And because of that, I am out. I do not think this is a $45 card. Most blue decks play this as a 1, 2 at best, maybe 3 if you're a Giga Greedy Fiend. And even at 3, this card is like a $30 card at best. Even with the reprints in the horizon, it just makes me very afraid. If you guys have got this Mihawk, if you sold it at 60, I taught you well. If you have it at 45 and you can sell it around this price point, I would as well. This is, in my opinion, very, very high for a card that it just ain't it, Chief. It just ain't it. But with that, guys, I hope you guys liked our little different segment that I did here this week for One Piece. I know I did a little bit of news. I did a little bit of market watch, and basically I'm prepping you guys up for these big events. January is going to be a big month, guys. We're going to have big 1Ks tournaments back to back to back as people prepare for February. People really want to win these cards and show their skill in the first ever in-person event for the game that we know and love. So with that, guys, I appreciate the amount of love, support, and absolutely gaming moments you guys have given me to this channel, and I want to continue to help you guys and help me improve so that the content not only helps you guys as a viewers and so you can learn something, but me myself as a content creator so that I am better equipped to give you the content that you guys need. So as always, guys, if you like this video, I'd appreciate a like. If you want to comment down below, I really do interact with the comments a lot. If you guys have at any points anything that you want to talk about, anything that you think I said incorrectly, make sure to comment down below. I am an individual that when I'm wrong, I can respectfully say, oh, oopsie. And as always, guys, if you haven't joined the Yeehaw crew just yet, consider subscribing. I'll see you guys on the next one as we find the One Piece. Peace.